tell me you brought good news. Oh, Envoy, you return. And you brought a friend. Ambassador Heelguard, at your service.
Always nice to meet an Adiran who isn't trying to goad me into a fight.
What of these rebels? The streets are full of rumors, but your word is the only one I trust. You what? Oh boy. Envoy, tell me this isn't true. Well, that wasn't your decision to make.
You did put him in charge.
We needed to answer this challenge with blood. Don't you see what this will do to our credibility? Thanks to you, these rebels will continue to undermine our work in the Living Lands without resistance or fear. Worse still, now everyone knows our flank is exposed. Oh my gods, Ludwig is going to eat us alive. Well, I would feel better if you had done your job. Still, maybe this will spare us the gallows. There's nothing to be done. All we can do is brace for the inevitable, though it may damn us in the end. Oh, yes, that. I'm sending you to Immersive, a community of Valian expatriates deep in Emerald Stair. The Animancers may have some knowledge of the Dream Scourge already. Learn whatever you can from them. Nor should you be. Animancers draw power from the spirit world. Their dark research can twist, break, even corrupt the very soul. The Empire has no tolerance for Animancers, and with good reason. Their work is dangerous, heretical. Animancers tinker on souls using clever inventions and ancient pillars of Ardra, siphoning essence like honey from a hive. They want to change reality as we know it, make us live longer, or cause barren lands to grow. For all I know, they might be on to something. Or, with a single miscalculation, they might destroy us all. Well, you know what they say about the enemy of my enemy? Animancers may be an unpredictable sort, but they are scholars, and keenly aware of their environment. Make no mistake, the Empire's at war with the Dream Scourge, and we need allies on our side. Would that I were certain of anything these days. I won't ask you to put your soul on the line, but I am asking you to make connections, to seek help wherever we can find it. If you have any further questions before I dispatch you to Emerald Stair, now would be the time. My sources tell me the Dream Scourge is a plague of the soul, and souls are their trade. If we have anything in common with Animancers, it's a shared interest in curing the Dream Scourge. Answers. Nothing more. We need all the help we can get, even if it means appealing to Animancers. I believe that covers everything. Governor Vidaro will be your first point of contact. I'm told he's barely keeping the community in order. Seek him out if you need direction. Good hunting, Envoy.
Hilgard. Why is it that whenever I hear your name, it's because you've disgraced the Empire?
No, strangling light. Keep her away.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
Inquisitor Ludwig, so kind of you to join us.
While you brood over the Dream Scourge, this island is coming apart at the seams.
Stay your wrath. Allow me to present the Adiran envoy, dispatched by the Emperor himself, to aid us in our time of need.
As does yours. Let me deal with him, and I will get back to you shortly. I can't believe you troubled the Emperor to send an envoy. Haven't you done enough to flaunt your incompetence?
Under the circumstances, I thought it might be...
Silence! You busy yourself with the Dream Scourge. A mere fever and chills, leaving the real work to me. Even if that were to happen, the living will replace the dead. We will ship them in by the hundreds to fill the empty houses.
Oh, gods, Ludwig.
I have scoured this island and faced the truths from which you cower. The Living Lands is on the brink of total collapse, and you have ignored the discontent in your own city. Now, the Envoy's killer roams free, unpunished, spreading word of our ineptitude.
The blame is mine, and mine alone.
He's got more backbone than I would have thought.
We should be better than this. Leading by example. This island has seen nothing but us at our weakest. What say you? Good. But it isn't enough to conquer a resistance. You must also make it serve you. For too long, our embassy has lacked the skill or the motivation to do either.
If you're done eviscerating me, you'll be interested to learn I'm sending the envoy to the Animancers of Emerald Stair.
You are ridiculous. Emerald Stair is under assault by the very wilderness it claims to have conquered. The Animancers cling to pride and tradition even as they dig their own graves. At least one of us hasn't abandoned hope. Clearly, I've wasted my time with you, Ambassador. From now on, I will break the frontier on my own terms. You are free to disagree with my methods, but you cannot stop me. As for you, Envoy, farewell.
She is going to be a problem. Sometimes I wonder. Put her out of your mind. The Dream Scourge is more than enough for us to chew on, at least for now. Since Liviana gave you a clean bill of health, you're officially cleared to leave for Emerald Stair. Fair warning, Animancers and Adirans don't mix well. Their kind can be a tad unhinged. A fair point. No one survives this place without losing a little sanity along the way.
They're a fun bunch. Crazy, but fun.
Wonderful. Now I have to keep a tight grip on my soul on top of everything else.
Should you cross paths with Ludwig, well, try not to. I have no idea what's gotten into her. Safe travels. I'm told Emerald Stair is beautiful this time of year.
We can head to the Eastern Gatehouse when you're ready to go to Fjord.
By the way, I never met that Orlin girl before in my life.
What Orlin girl?
You remember. The one in the camp in Shadow Peaks? With the thing on her head?
Oh, yeah. Nice eyes, chipped tooth. Thinking about her again, huh?
Haze, mirrors. We have touched something like your dreams before. A killer freed. A predator returned to the woods. Why? We could have punished him. Compassion for the snake. He killed our beloved. Our weeds tangled. This is not our way. A dam broke. We wept in the dark when your soul slipped away. We feared for you, felt your agony. We could not forgive. Petals disperse on the wind. Wake now. We have tending to do.
Envoy. I speak for Paradise. That is all you need to know.
Careful, he could be a messenger. Or this could get interesting.
We have learned you are not a figure to be trifled with. Your mercy for our compatriots has not gone unnoticed. Take this. We deem you worthy. This time, we trust you will remember our gratitude.
Hold a moment. They tell me you're going to Emerald Stair. Business or pleasure? Well, just remember to cover your mouth, sneeze into your elbow, and sleep with lavender under your pillow. Fair warning, Envoy. Before you showed up, Inquisitor Ludwig barged past me. She was looking none too pleased. Don't thank me. In fact, keep my name away from Ludwig's ears. Better if she doesn't know I exist. Anyway, I thought you should know Ludwig's on the prowl. Tread lightly.
As long as she's not on our scent. Given how angry she was about Eagwolf, probably best we give her a wide berth.
You're cleared to pass, Envoy.
Can't say I'm sad to be leaving Paradise. I had no idea how tense things were with the Adherans moving in. And now we have to worry about whether the man who killed you is going to try again.
what most of us come here for. I only wish more of us really got one. Unfortunately, the Steel Garrote will see this as an excuse to crack down. I get the feeling they've been looking for one.
Steel Garrote? I figured they're just more intense Adiran soldiers.
They're certainly making their presence known. Can't say they're making any friends, though.
I don't like that Ludwig woman. She gives me the freakus.
Yeah, I've seen floggings gentler than the scolding she gave Hilgard. One's tacking when the other's jibing, if you catch my drift. Taking in the slack is one thing. They look ready to strangle each other with it.
Then it's a good thing we're getting out of the city.
Yeah. Much as Liviana misses our company, I wouldn't count on your mysterious friend reviving you a second time.
Are you listening to that friend when you go all blank-eyed from time to time? Does your special friend talk to you? I mean, I had an imaginary friend when I was little, but they never brought me back from the dead.
He means that with all due professional respect, of course.
How do you know this friend doesn't mean us any harm? Well, maybe figure it out. We can't prepare for what we don't know is coming.
We're headed to Fior Messi Verno to see if the Animancers know anything about the Dream Scourge, right? Maybe we'll learn something about your condition in the process.
Right. When it comes time to deal with Animancers, you two are on your own.
Most fun things are.
They could stand around and have scholarly debates about souls all they want. Gives me a great opportunity to take a nap.
I haven't been back in a while, but Fior is an interesting place. It was founded about 50 years ago by a disgraced Valian duke and a handful of Animancers who'd soured on politics in the republics.
Town full of nobles, scholars, and leeches, all surviving off the work of the farmers who grow food for the whole island.
They're an eccentric bunch. You'll see. It turns out that academics are as ungovernable as the rest of us rabble.
They don't understand what they're messing with. They can't tame the wilds with machinery.
They've held it at bay until recently. Their ingenuity, or madness, or heresy, take your pick, has fed a lot of people in the living lands. But, rumor has it, some unnatural blight is destroying their crops. We'll find out soon enough. And while we're in Emerald Stair, there's something I've been putting off. An old friend from my time in Thirdborn had a cabin out in the woods. Tama. He passed a while ago, but he left something for me that I never got around to picking up. But since we'll be in Emerald Stair anyway... You won't regret it. Emerald Stair's lovely this time of year. Even the Delimgon bloom.
No matter what I tell you, you keep picking flowers from things that want to kill you.
Hey, they love me. You just gotta ask nicely. Compliment their foliage.
Right. Maybe buy them a drink before they choke you to death with vines. I'd hope so. I think that goes without saying.
You and I have quite the adventure ahead of us, Envoy. That's the spirit. What about you, Marius? What's next?
I have, things to do back in Paradise. It keeps me plenty busy.
Come to think of it, I haven't been to Emerald Stair in a while, and the Envoy's never been. Know any good guides we could hire?
None that could help the two of you. You need the best guide in the lands to keep you from getting yourselves killed.
Yeah. Who else is going to show us which mushrooms we can eat, and which ones want to eat us?
Now that you mention it, you're going to need my help if you're traveling through the lands with this Nimdut. I have 2 rules. No campfire songs, and no hugs. That last one's non-negotiable.
I hear wiggle room on the singing.
If we're done being ridiculous, we should get some rest. We'll be in Emerald Stair tomorrow.
Good to have you with us, Marius.
Right. Go to bed before you violate the hugging rule. Watch yourself!
Don't get comfortable. More are on the way.
Oh, fantastic. People. I was about to lose my wits.
A mind's question. The dust of the Akita in her hair. She knocks. We would answer.
You wouldn't happen to have a ladder on hand, would you? To climb, of course.
You're welcome to my shoulders.
There's a godless artifact just out of reach, and I must have it. But perhaps we don't need one. You're tall, striking, and well-toned. Well, I'm not surprised you don't know of the godless. But they were here in the living lands long before we were. Long before anyone else, as far as I can tell. Give or take a few thousand years. They lived on every corner of the lands. You must have passed a few of their ruins on the way here. The big ones, with spires that look more than a little phallic. A lot of their structures were embedded in the ground. They lived in harmony with the land. I mean, as much as you can live in harmony with the land actively trying to kill you. Maybe it was nicer back then. 30 years of research, and as far as I can tell, they just upped and disappeared one day. Fascinating, right? Well, what's important is that the vase is within my grasp, now that I've a tall, dark, and handsome stranger to help. There's a vase in this ruin that's too high for me to reach. Fetch it for me. I can pay you in skates if you do. The vase sits atop that tower beside us, in the ruins there. And once you've got it, look me up. Yatsley, wizard extraordinaire, godless expert, and a Balrog in the bedroom.
You do meet the most interesting people.
Oh, would you be a dear and help with these spoilings, please?
Looks like she could use our help.
Let's give her a hand. Unseen, unheard.
can see you digging through my things, aren't you? Andra's titties, you found it! I tried using magic to get the vase down, but alas. Thankfully, you and your little friends came along and saved the day.
Excuse me. We're all bigger than you are, Nimdude.
I may be small, but my magic is not, I assure you. Ah, yes, I did, didn't I? The cost is well worth it. Such a godless artifact is worth its weight in gold. Think of all the secrets and memories it holds. Well, I'm not surprised you don't know of the godless. But they were here in the living lands long before we were. Long before anyone else, as far as I can tell. Give or take a few thousand years. They lived on every corner of the lands. You must have passed a few of their ruins on the way here. The big ones, with spires that look more than a little phallic. A lot of their structures were embedded in the ground. They lived in harmony with the land. I mean, as much as you can live in harmony with the land actively trying to kill you. Maybe it was nicer back then. 30 years of research, and as far as I can tell, they just upped and disappeared one day. Fascinating, right? Don't ask questions unless you want the answers, dearie. Of course. Follow the path through the fields. The settlement walls should appear through the fog. I'd best pack up myself. I have a vase to study. Thank you for your help, Godlike, even if you didn't have a ladder.
That's something I hope never happens again.
I've got a few inches to spare if she changes her mind.
Right behind you.
Let's go! That it?
Granted, I don't come here often, but when did it get this bad?
The armored mask. We dream of steel and charred earth and flame. The memory binds. Flee from her. We fear. For us. For you. Blazing ire. It burns and feeds upon itself. Pain through the smoke, we recall. You are not safe with her. We reach. The spines tear into us. We pull our hands away. But the old scars do not lie. We burned once. Burned. We know. A storm from the same spark. All pain cuts with the same blade. Steer clear of the scourging fire, or extinguish it. No recourse but teeth. The flame spreads toward the garden wall. Listen. Have care. Have care.
You told us
As if
that
people
animals
weren't hungry
save
enough.
our crops. And now look, spoiled on the vine. Zarips won't even touch them.
Animancy is a process. We're talking about a delicate metaphysical ecosystem.
Machines everywhere, and none of them are doing a lick of good.
Be patient and things will get better, I promise.
What do you mean that's all you got? Last week you said there'd be grain.
I know what I said, but we only have so much to go around.
Are the Animancers starving as well, Or are they sipping tea?
Take it up with the governor. I don't make the rules. Go home. Lay traps in the woods and pray for game. I can't help you.
We know you're stashing the grain somewhere. Well, let's have it.
There's no stash, as I've told you before. If I had grain, I'd give it to you. I know, times are hard.
The crops are coming up wrong, miss. Flies won't even land on them.
It's bad all over. Trust me. Godlike.
Gods, what do I tell Sovia? What do I tell the children? It's not bad enough that their mother a little earlier and you'd have beaten the other bandits to my crops. But I guess that's on you, isn't it?
I left the whole pile right here. Enough food, good food, safe food, to get us through the next few months. I went inside just for a moment. The bandits took everything. This was probably her last harvest. There's not a damn thing left to eat. When they ran away, I saw them following the river north. They're probably hiding up there, waiting to steal from someone else. You come back with my crops, and I'll give you whatever I can. You can't put a price on survival.
You showed up at a bad time.
Ah, the Emperor's envoy. Inquisitor Ludwig said you might be heading this way. Captain Alfair of the Steel Garrote. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy. If their experiments are affecting Adirian interests, this is our business. And when the time comes, the Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of those interests. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does subtle mean something different outside of Solace?
Oh, this will be so very useful back home. Genuine healing crystals, purest in all of Eora.
Careful with old Nuna. I have a theory that her... Oh, the trap... Oh, those... those Delamgan. They are not evil, it is just in their nature to push back against the expansion of civilization.
Oh, you startled me. This old woman can get lost in prayer from time to time. You must be the Adirian envoy I've been hearing about. Apologies for any hardships you may have experienced getting here. The failing crops, the strange beasts, and even the dream scourge are all the result of our neglect of the dead. I was calling on the spirits of the recently dead to follow the guidance of Bareth, god of death.
I am asking the spirits to forgive us for our negligence and continue on their way without anger. The dead of yore expect certain rituals to be carried out. I have failed to perform those rituals, and now the spirits are angry. We cannot take that chance. There are angry spirits, and you know the problems we face. I believe the two are related. Our recent dead require a final meal to ease their passage from life. Without it, they can't rejoin the cycle.
You've got people waiting in line for their next meal, and you want to waste food on the dead?
I got food from the grain merchant stores. I just need someone to leave it at the graves. The dead will take it from there.
Flesh and bone. They bring the fruit to those who cannot eat. What tree calls for its branches to endure these rituals?
Of course. I follow a Valian tradition that teaches that the journey back to the cycle is a long and perilous one. Barrett appears as the usher to guide souls into the next life, but those who lose their way risk the ire of the Pallid Knight. We offer food to the recently dead to still their minds and give them something to offer should the Knight demand her toll. The recently dead are nearly as alive as you or I. Many don't believe they're dead, and many rebel against Barrett's beckoning. Any peace we can offer only helps them accept their fate and move on to the next life. You must take these offerings of food and place them at 3 grave sites where the recently dead lay. The first offering goes to a cliffside grave on the southern coast. The second offering goes to a grave in the swamp, far to the west from here. The final offering should be taken to the truffle farm east of Fure, where a family lost their lives to the encroaching wilds. I believe it will do exactly that. The spirits will find closure and rest, and the living can move on from this recent tragedy. Be careful, friends. The angry spirits lash out blindly. I cannot predict what awaits you at these graves.
Next time you want to tour graveyards, I'm staying at camp. We should help the living and let the dead rest.
I can't thank you enough for helping to ease the conscience of an old lady. Please, return when the rituals are complete.
Rejuvenate and revitalize your personal essence.
Spirits are truly wonderful. Powerful, self-aware, and reach with insight.
Insight, you say?
Indeed. The spirits have access to lifetimes of knowledge.
Would you care for
a
a little
refreshment?
knowledge would do me good right about now. A pity I must wait until I'm dead.
Careful! Or we'll get thrown out of the pub. We're all ready.
Huh. When did that happen? You, my friend, need some water.
I had one job. I couldn't even
Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been? If I could help myself, do you think I'd be in here? I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate. I'd like to be. They're out searching. Someone had to hold down the fort. My 2 youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here. Praise Ilia. Their names are Belena and Adalaro. I doubt they'll be apart. They were good rangers once. But since they've caught each other's eye, all they do is sneak off to... I wouldn't have put it that way, but all right.
Well, there's worse places to make the 4-legged beast. I promise you that.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh man, this brings me back. Anyway, I never thought I had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please, keep an eye out for them. I'm losing my mind in here.
2 young Nemdutin wandering out by a river. Consider them found.
Maybe we don't look too soon. Give them a while. You know what I mean?
Pour you a drink, good lake. Well, I'll be a godlike in the bone and bore. Apologies for the ruckus outside. The Animancers never know when to shut their mouths. You can't take a piece in the fjord without spotting an Animancer. But finding an Animancer you can trust, that's harder. I try Quilici and Giata. They are the only Animancers taking the Dream Scourge seriously. Outside and up the stairs, they're arguing with Vidaro. Just follow the profanity. Welcome back, envoy.
Giata, what's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops. Look at your city. The Dream Scourge is laying waste to our home.
There is no Dream Scourge in Emerald Stair.
The land begs to differ, and I can prove it.
We can discuss this in private.
We are How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? In that case, you're right on time.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion. Very well. I hope you remember that behind these walls, your influence has limits.
I'm sure he didn't come all this way just to challenge your authority. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms.
There may still be time to reverse the damage.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Must be nice that all the arguing isn't about you, for once.
I'm just trying to stop Chiata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. I see you're unfamiliar with animancy. You don't appreciate just how dangerous that could be. Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. Then we'd better do it somewhere else. Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Chiata.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Chiata Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Banished?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Chiata is an outcast. Perhaps. But I can't just let her continue to poison the minds of my animancers.
They aren't your animancers. Your father understood that.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Messiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
I'll find us another bed.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint.